Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Keys to Mastery for August 8th to August 10th, 2022. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Arlene Grace, and I am a channel, I am a spiritual coach and a numerologist. I'm also an alchemist. And I'm on a journey discovering what is possible. I know that we are creators. I know that we are limitless. I believe that we are. And so I am on a journey to discover that all is attainable. In fact, I trust that. And so as I feel into the energy today, it very much looks like this shaker. So there's this beautiful ornate shaker, and inside are all of these different shapes. We'll call them beads. And the shaker at the top of it, very much like a salt shaker, has these small little holes. So it will allow only the small things to come out. And I see a hand and it's vigorously shaking. So imagine that in the shaker, imagine that the shaker itself is your form, it's your body. And within, it's shaking up and out what it is that you truly want, what it is that you truly want to experience. And that in order to understand and to feel into what it is that we truly want, we are on this journey of value, how much we value ourselves, how much we value what it is that we desire, what it is that we want to experience in life, how much we value outside of ourselves, how much we value the people and the accolades, the people and the success, the people and their love and the actions that we take in order to attain those things. And in this, we're being shook, right? We're being invited to take it up a notch, to take our life up a notch. And so what is happening with this shaker is our true desire is starting to be released. And in all of that, all of the other things are just coming up to rise. The ideas that just don't serve us anymore, the places where we thought that something was true, where we decided to love something. Now, truth. There aren't very many truths out there. There are many beliefs out there, but there aren't very many truths. And as we grow up, as we live our lives, we take on many ideas that aren't necessarily true. They're made up by other humans. But because we decided to love those ideas, to love those beliefs, to love those constructs, we decided, either consciously or unconsciously, to take that on. And that is really held in the body, that's held in the mind. Through this shakeup, what you can be experiencing is the feeling in your body. You can actually feel the resistance in your body. And so I'm going to invite you just to come in and tune in to the body. And I'm going to invite you to just scan your body. You can scan your body from the top of the head. And we're just noticing, are there any aches? Are there any pains? Maybe I have a headache and I can feel some stuff that's rising up on someone's right side of the head and moving out the ear. I can feel there's some tension in the neck, and there's this, message of you keep on looking back. You keep on looking back into the past. As it continues to move down, I can feel in the shoulders, there's a lot of pressure being held on the shoulders, pressure to be a certain way, holding other people's burdens, taking on other people's ideas, when really and truly we want what we want. And so letting go of the burden of family, the burden of, and when I say family, like letting go of the ideas of the family, letting go of the idea that you have to sacrifice, letting go of the idea that you have to hold what you want back until the kids have left the nest, or until things are perfect. And so there's just this letting go. And as I continue to move down the back, I can feel there's this, not good enough, I'm unworthy, I could never have that. There's blame, there's shame, there's distortion. And so we're just continuing to move down the body, and I can feel in the arms, there's this like holding on, like I just need to hold on to the past. I need to hold on to this person. I can't let them go. And so we're just gonna let them go and relax. And we're just gonna continue to move down the body. Again, especially feeling the knees, there's this resistance. Now, all of these pains, all of these aches, that you may be noticing or not noticing in the body. And of course, it happens when we become conscious, when we become aware of our body, that there's this resistance. We feel the pain, and that's the resistance itself. That's the holding on to the past or holding on to a belief. It could be your personality that's holding on to this idea that I need to keep you safe, right? That in the past you got hurt and you don't want to get hurt again. And so we're just going to hold on to this past story so that you don't move outside of your comfort zone. And so we're releasing the resistance in the knees, behind the knees. We're just continuing to move down all the way to the ankles, to the feet. And we're just going to allow this energy to flush right out through the bottoms of your feet, all the way down. And just noticing that perhaps in this moment, the pain may be easing, the pain may be relaxing. And that maybe stories might be rising up, or visions might be rising up if your eyes are closed. And we allow those to go too. And so as I'm feeling into this energy, again, this week is really, are you ready to take it up a notch? And so today we start with the five of diamonds, right? 5 of diamonds, 4. And in this, there's the shakeup of, oh, I thought I wanted this, but I truly want to experience this love. And as this distortion is letting go, as this idea that I could possibly be in pain again, this idea that I could possibly be disappointed again, this idea that I wasn't valued in my past relationships, and so that might happen again, I'm willing to let them go and trust my inner knowing, right? We're creating space in the body here. Space in the body for what is true for you. And I can hear the thoughts, like I get, she's not good enough for me because my friends are gonna think blah, blah, blah. Or, he doesn't have a good enough job and he's not successful. And so I can't be with him. And oh my God, I can't be with this person over here because of whatever reason, blah, blah, blah. And I can't believe I'm in love with this person. Like, they don't look the way that that I would typically, be with, and all of these things. And so it really feels like this week is, all about relationships. And at the same time, I'm seeing I'm seeing like a woman, and she's standing before a mirror and she's looking at herself and she's not valuing herself. She's in fact judging all of the spaces in her body that don't match what society says, that don't match the filtered images that we see in social media, that don't match the body image that includes surgery or plumpers or this or that or whatever. And so judging outside of herself, judging outside of himself. And so as we move through this journey this week, it's whole body. Our focus the rest of the week until we move into Fridays, we're focused on the material things, our body being part of the material, right? And in that, there's this desire to connect with another. And underneath that, there's this desire to connect deeper to you and deeper into your own value. And so as we continue to move through today, you may notice all of the places where you might be lying to yourself, where you might be telling yourself stories, where you might be, I can't be with that person, right? We just said that. I can't be with that person because of blah, blah, blah. But really and truly, at the core of it, you value what you're sharing so much. And so it's the willingness to go in the direction of what is true for you. Letting go of what you see, letting go of what others might say, letting go of the judgments, letting go of the fears, right? Do you value yourself so much that you're willing to have that experience, even if just for a moment, right? Because really and truly, we're experiencing everything in the moment here, and in the moment here, and in the moment here. And in the moment here, there is no past. And in the moment here, there is no future. Now we can have these goals and we can have these desires that we want to experience in the future, but it begins here now. And it begins here now with the feeling state of, I value myself. I am value. and I love myself, and I'm fun, and I'm curious, and I'm intentional, and I am wealthy. I'm all these beautiful things. I'm all of it. I am it. And raising the vibration of your own body, raising the value within your own body, because that in itself is a feeling state. It's a feeling state in your body. And allowing that to move you, allowing that to let yourself see the resistance, to let yourself see the stories, to let yourself see when you're in the past and you're putting on this lens of the person that you're truly in love with or you're truly wanting to be with, you're putting the lens of, but my past boyfriend was like this, or my past wife was like this, or my past this was like this. There is none of that in the moment, right? And so I can feel some other resistances that are rising up in the hips. And so we're just going to allow that to go. Ah, I'm just feeling the feeling. Yeah. And so your action today is the willingness to commit in love, to receiving, to let go of how that looks, to experiment, to play, to let go of what it is that you see and allow the energy to carry you, right? Allow the deep desire, whatever it is that fell out of that shaker, to move you. I can feel like there's this deepening in relationship. Like I want to deepen my relationship. I can feel there's a person that, that they discovered that they're pregnant. And so they're like, oh my God, like, I just want to share this experience, but they're in this energy of anxiety and fear. And I have to share this with this person. This person might get mad. And I'm bringing in the past of what it was like in all of my other relationships in this one. And so I'm scared. And so it's coming back to presence in this moment. What do you want? What is that little thing that popped out of that shaker? I want to experience deep connection as I share this. I want to share this, and I want to feel deep intimacy. I want to feel joy. I want to feel happiness. I want to feel excitement. I want to be curious. Yeah. And so as we move into Tuesday, now it's going to be a flip of the energy. It's going to be a mirroring of the energy per se, but it's going to be this energy of, now are you willing to let yourself have what you want? And so we begin today with an awareness. Now tomorrow there could be a further detoxing within the body, a further detoxing in the mind, where now it's this, okay, I'm willing to commit to this thing that I want, and here I am. And when we come into this willingness, it creates a distortion in our lives. Like it creates not distortion, it creates a disruption in our lives. Like, have you ever decided that you wanted something so bad? Oh my God, I want to be a track star per se. And so I want to be a track star, and I decide I'm going to be a track star. It feels so good to have the gold medal. It feels so good to be doing this and whatever. And they make this decision. And that next day, all of these ideas of, oh man, I can't be good enough to do that. Oh man, I'm going to have to train and do all these things. Oh, I'm going to have to watch my diet. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. And so it's this coming into this disruption, the acceptance of, okay, yeah, you know what? I don't know if I'm good enough yet, but I'm willing to do it anyway. I'm willing to practice. I'm willing to put in the time. I'm willing to come to devotion with, I want to be this track star. I want to be this person that holds this gold medal. I want that. And so I'm willing to allow myself to commit. I'm going to commit to that. I'm going to do that. And so it feels like it's the flip side of it. And as we move through this week, like this week or this day, there's going to be a lot of change truth, right? And it's this energy that's further shaking up your life, shaking up your body to help you to navigate this journey of expansion, this journey of growth. And so there's a lot of information that might just rise up from either within you or mirrored back in others that can show you how you're feeling, right? Remembering that everyone in your life is a mirror. Everyone here is to show you what you don't see within yourself. Then in fact, that if we If we didn't have people in our lives, if we didn't have these experiences in our lives, we wouldn't know who we are. And so thinking about the people that are coming into your life as a muse, not to blame or shame or control, but someone that's coming in to show you where you forgot, where you took on a different truth that wasn't true for you, where you took on an idea that, you weren't good enough or weren't lovable or weren't smart enough, weren't intelligent enough. Someone that's coming to show you, oh man, like, look at that person. Look at how hard they work. I don't feel like I have to work that hard. I actually feel like life can be easy, right? And so everyone here is to show you little different things, different aspects about your life. And so any trigger is here to show you, oh, there's this pain here. I feel the pain. I feel the pain in my heart. And so I'm going to allow that to rise up. I don't need to know what that is. I'm just going to be present with it. And I'm going to let that rise up. I can feel it. Right? It feels like shock. And so we're just going to let that rise up, whatever that shock is for you. Ding. We're going to let that just rise up. I can feel it moving through the throat. And the throat is really speaking to the expression. Am I willing to express who I am? Am I willing to express to another that this is what I desire? Do I have the courage to do that? Am I brave? What does it feel like to be brave? And as I close my eyes, I see this interesting dance that's happening between a man and a woman, where both of them aren't willing to express what they truly feel. And so there's this energy of control. I'm going to wait and see what she does first before I respond. And she's, oh, I'm going to wait and see how he responds before I act. And so there's this interesting dance that's happening that is control, right? Control, rather than expressing what's in their heart, expressing what they truly want to experience with one another, right? And so through all of this, there's this energy that's this ribbon of energy that feels like vulnerability, to discover the strength in your own vulnerability, to discover the strength in expressing your own words, expressing your own self, to expressing how you feel, to express yourself, your true self, right? And so your action here is really to let yourself have what you want. Because I'm going to imagine that whatever shakes out of that little shaker, that big shaker, it really is taking your life higher. That true desire within you is really allowing for you to go on this journey of growth. That it feels like it's doing something that's outside of the grain. Something that, for some of you, you may be modeling something that you haven't actually seen in the world. And so there may not be anyone in your life that can be showing you the way. And so there's this energy of, well, what if you were the way shower? What if you just got to do it your own way? And what if your own way inspired others to do the same? Now we move into Wednesday. So Wednesday is this energy of, the doing day. And so we move into 3 of diamonds, 6. And so it's this energy of finding all of these different possibilities. We can really get busy in the mind this day. And so if we're not taking action, if we're not going for the walks or doing the things that are inspired with us, with this energy, we can definitely fall into the anxiety. We can definitely have a lot of spinning thoughts. We can definitely fall into the past in this day. We can definitely notice our own addictions to the addiction to the past, our addiction to healing, our addiction to food and to self-soothing ourselves, our addiction to giving up is coming up too, right? And so there's this energy of, the willingness to keep on going, to keep on trucking, right? I think that's a saying, and to keep on going in the direction of what it is that you truly desire. As you continue to, it feels like in all of this, there's this energy of, will you make peace with yourself? Will you bring yourself into harmony? Will you allow yourself to just settle in a little bit? to just settle into what it is that you truly want, as the mind now has this opportunity to come up with all different possibilities. And when I say different possibilities, it's this: many of us will not make decisions or will decide something even before life has happened, right? And so we'll bring it back to this relationship of these two imaginary people, right? And so they're doing this dance. And so there's this, in this control, she's not willing to do something. She's already deciding. She's already deciding that if he says something, if he says this, or if he acts this way, or if he doesn't act this way, then I'm going to do this. And so there's this decision that she's made when something hasn't even happened. And so that's control, right? She's not in the moment. She's busy dancing around him, trying to control her own life, trying to control him, trying to control her experience when it hasn't happened, when she's basing it on the past, when she's basing it on, I just don't want to be disappointed. I just don't want to be hurt. I just don't want to be this. And meanwhile, he's doing the same thing. He's mirroring back to her how she's feeling. And so he's standoffish, and he's, he's not knowing what to say. And maybe because there's this, there's less focus on what they want to experience, which is the love or the intimacy or all of those things, that it just continues to be that dance. I can feel the energy between my hands, and they're not attracting. They're actually pulling away from each other. And so it gets further and further. The distance gets bigger, right? But even this energy that's moving between them is an addiction, right? To be in drama is an addiction, because it creates this, it creates fight or flight in our own body. It releases 286 hormones at 286 miles per hour as it just continues. It flows from the brainstem, moves through our body. Our body's energy is small. Our brain capacity is small. We're making decisions based on the past or on our anxiety of the future. And, it's just great resistance. And so in this, there's this, like, let things lie. Let sleeping dogs lie. Let things fall away. Let things die, right? Let the past just go and really come into this place of trust. I trust that feeling. I trust that feeling that came out of that shaker. I trust that I can have that. And so I fucking decide it, right? I decide that I'm going to have it. I decide I'm going to allow myself I'm going to allow this seed to just burst open, because I know that it's going to flourish the more that I love it, the more that I move my energy in that direction, the more that I bring my focus to it. And so as things fall away, it feels like things are just going to fall away, and that you're in transition as you continue to move forward with this. And for some, if this journey is in relationship, there's this, like, your action is decide to be together, decide to be with your partner, decide to be whole with yourself, decide to love yourself so much that you're willing to come to this place of, yes, I want to be with you. Yes, I want to share this experience with you. And this can be this, I decide to be together in community. I decide to be together with my clients. I decide to be together with my family. I decide to love. I decide to have this love and this value that I have within me mirrored back to me. I decide to have that experience, because in all of this, no one loves you. I know that that's like a hard truth, because we live in this world full of fantasy, full of, Disney, full of all of these things that show us that, this guy loves this girl loves this guy, but it's not that. You don't love another person. They don't love you. You're actually moving that love from your heart. You're moving that love. That love is moving through you. And so he's moving that love through himself, which is coming in through you. You're doing the same. You're moving it through him, because it's inspired. It's inspired by this desire to have this experience. And so if you were to think of love as an energy that is available here now through your body. You can just call it in. You can start emitting that energy. You can call it in to flow through you. What does it feel like to love? And as you feel that love moving through you, well, it kind of just lets all the stories that are attached to it fall away. Right? And so it's coming into this presence with this energy. This presence with this energy doesn't have the calculations or the programming or the conditioning that comes from all of our experiences in life. And so are you willing to move love out into your communities, into your lover, into your family, into your children, into your business, into you are love? Are you willing to move that out and receive it back to you? Right? In all of this, there's this beautiful dance of receiving and noticing where you have these conditions, these stories. Well, if he does this, then I'm not going to receive for sure. There's this willingness to receive anyway and to receive your value back. Like I'm hearing stories of it. There are times where people come and they just want to support you and they just want to do these things, but you want to do it alone. But here's the thing, you're never alone. Because this energy today, there's this fear of being alone. There's this fear of being abandoned. And so some of the actions or the decisions that you might make are based on that. Well, it's better to let him go now because he might leave anyway. And so I'd rather be alone. Does that make sense? Would you be willing to have that experience anyway for just that moment? And then that moment, and then that moment. Are you willing to allow yourself to have that? And let go of the idea that, yes, he may leave. And be okay with that. And let that fear pass. Yeah, this week feels very emotional. It feels like there's a lot of movement here. It feels like there's this shakeup that's happening whole body, in our emotions, our mind, in our body, coming into a deeper sense of our own spirituality. And so it feels really extraordinary. Yeah, beautiful. Questions, comments, please feel free to share. I'd love to hear how this resonated with you. I'd love to hear about your experiences. I am curious. And yeah, wishing you the most amazing Monday. And I'll see you in the spaces. So much love. Bye for now.